Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? How can I reconcile something so cruel? Can money explain what these people can do? Something so sinister I can't relate. I wish I knew how there could be so much hate. Help me escape the insanity I'm grasping at straws that are so hard to find. I am beside myself, this can't be real. I genuinely don't know how to feel. Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Watching democracy slowly decay, legislate all of my family away. Think of the children while bombing their homes, shooting their schools and policing their own. Knowledge and freedom to think for themselves, learn their identities and mental health. Marry them while they're still young, force them to carry your values and tongue. I'm not proud to be an American, where at least I'll pretend that I'm free from despair. Moving us backward through all of the lies. The past and the future are blurring my eyes. Systems of power have history deep, colonized, genocide, and slavery. We never grew out of it, not by a lot. That is our legacy, like it or not. I don't know how to have faith anymore. I understand why politics are ignored, but it's connected to all of the lore, affecting society down to the core. Money will buy you your power and fame, everything needed to rig the whole game. But it affects everyone all the same, as we descend down the capital drain. No one will listen, they shut all their blinds, close all their borders, their doors and their minds. The temperatures, they will continue to climb like boiling frogs, it's a matter of time. Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming through. Thank you for coming through for my album debut, Ordian Azurium. Yeah, no, the first song, Have a Good Day, that's a single. That has already been released last week. But I recently created an entire album where that single's in, called Flightless Bird. I'm gonna start with the beginning here. You're not gonna be able to hear it right now, just getting the old player set up. But yeah, again, thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming through.
Ordian. I'm gonna wait until... Alright. Hey! Libus Music, welcome. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting how to pronounce your name. You've told me multiple times, and I keep feeling one of these days I'll You know, it's because I never heard it. I've only ever seen it spelled. But yeah, welcome to the listening party. It's been a while. Just waiting for a few more people to come through before I play this. Might send this to a few more people. Yeah. I want a full house. But thank you so much for coming through. All right. All right. Sent that in. Well, I guess I could do like a little introductory thing for the album while we wait. Let me go into the player here. So, Flightless Bird, I mean, I'm guessing you can already tell based on the cover art. It's very political. It's very political. And it's also in response to the certain person who is in office right now. It is in direct response. Hey, Snare Mori! At least that was the catalyst for this album. I don't want to say it's only because of our current president. It's not just because of our current president. It's a lot of things. My inspiration for this album is directly because of him being reelected, but that's not the only reason why I made an album. And it made this album in the sense that, like, this album's not just going to be me complaining about our president for like however many minutes this whole album is combined. I mean, I am gonna be complaining a fair amount about our current president. But this album is a lot more nuanced, and I would hope, just, I guess, that's, yeah. That's fair. I mean, that's the thing though, like, I hate how divisive politics have become. I mean, it's so pulverizing these days. I'm not gonna let fear of you know, like I guess negative feedback inhibit what I want to say. But a lot of the things, a lot of the lyrics I wrote in this song were deliberately and meticulously planned, and I decided, like, this is the most care I've ever taken in writing, like, really writing music. Because for the most part, I'm a producer. I focus primarily on the production side of things. I don't really focus much on the lyrics. I do in fact, an overwhelming majority of my songs have lyrics, but they're usually pretty popcorn, generic. Some of them are a bit more insightful, especially on my oldest album, Captive Arts. But for the most part, I keep them pretty generic and buried under like layers of metaphor, kind of like just kind of like generic pop songs. Maybe a little bit, maybe a little. I don't know. Just like the lyrics are a lot more basic, and there's fewer variety in the lyrics. I mostly focus on my production, but this album is different. I still have. I mean, don't get me wrong. The production. I'm very proud of each and every one of the beats on these songs. I think that they're really well. I think I did a really good job. Like, they have a lot of variety in sound and whatnot, but the lyrics too. And also, Snare Mori is a immaculate producer, and he produced one of the beats for this album, so props to him as well. But yeah, I wanted to approach this in a nuanced way. Like, just to put my opinion out there, I'm a leftist. I am not happy with our current president who just got sworn in. But I'm also like, I know I know a lot of like musicians who voted for Trump this year, or voted for Trump in November, and it's like this album is kind of about my own, like, I guess, journey and my own reckoning, if you will, with the current political landscape and how I want to respond to it. Because I've been angry before, and I'm still going to be angry in this album, and I still disagree with people who voted for Trump. But I'm not going to be, shall we say, like, I guess, dismissive either. I'm going to try, like, this album actively attempts to communicate and potentially even bridge the gap. Like, I know there are a lot of bigots on Trump's side that need to work on that stuff on their own, and I realize that I'm not going to be able to sway them super easily with, like, music, but it's like, I don't know, it's something that I want to try to do, because I learned, one of the things I learned when just, I guess, meeting new people, because before I became a musician, I was basically like in a like super far left echo chamber, and I basically had no understanding of why people voted for I basically had no understanding why people voted for Trump, and I still disavow and disagree with voting for Trump. I don't like Trump, but like, I'm becoming more and more like, I guess I can I mean, again, understanding is different from like agreeing, but like, I'm trying to like see from their point of view, their limited I guess not their limited knowledge and also perspective, that they legitimately see him as some kind of populist figure. And like, yeah, and like, I'm very like, but it's like, the main thing is like, I'm sharing this knowing that my circle is filled with different people in my audience who believe very different things about the world, but I'm not going to stay silent just to appease all sides either. This is not me trying to compromise or say like, oh, like, I don't know, like I still made the album, and I'm still planning to I'm still being very blunt and very candid with how I feel in this album. And a lot of the songs are me being very fucking angry. But at the same time, I'm also like, I guess, I don't know, like, there's only so much I can say verbally about the album before I want to show it to you guys. I just want more people to come through, though. That's the main thing. I can try to... I don't know. Let me let people on another server of mine know. All right. I sent the link to half pig, half caterpillar. Thank you, Snare Mori. Looks like we got 4 people total. 4 people joining. Whether they're on YouTube and Twitch, I'm watching the people who are on combined on Twitch and YouTube. For those of you who don't know, I'm also streaming on Twitch as well as YouTube. For those of you who prefer Twitch and just happen to find me on YouTube, and vice versa, I'm streaming on both platforms. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get started. I mean, worst case scenario, they can rewatch it. And I'm still gonna have a lot of shit to say between the different songs too, so it's not like this is all the stuff I'm going to say about the album, like, at the beginning. I'm gonna say a lot of stuff about each song individually too. So, I guess, with that out of the way, let's get started with the first song on the album, America First.
Congratulations, Mr. President. Thank you for establishing the precedent. Brain dead hatred, ignorance. This is the reality we're living in. Fucking white supremacists, misogynists, transphobic politicians licking the blood on their hands. I'll be a bottom line before I understand. Flying Nazi flags, you fucking sycophants. Why do I get products for getting a shit? Humanity is motherfucking ready for this. Everybody's gonna go down with the shit. America first. Everybody's gonna go down with the shit. America first.
Thank you. That was America First. So, this is like the first song. I mean, obviously it's the first song on the album, but this is like the first song I produced right after I heard the news that Trump got reelected. And it's just all of my raw emotions spilling out. Like, literally, I think I made this like the day after he won the race. So my feelings were still strong. I was really passionate and angry. I'm angry in a lot of this album, which I think is valid, and definitely, like, you know, understandable. I really like the I mean, I don't know. I'm quite happy with the production in it. When I get into the zone, I'll often like just like produce in like a improv way where I don't know what I'm gonna add next. I don't know what measure I'm gonna add next. Like it's just like I'm just making it as I go, I guess. And it just like different switch ups and breaks just happen naturally as I go along. It's like I like that. I like that kind of production style. I get a lot into that production style, especially when I'm like in emotional turmoil, and that was definitely the mental state I was in when I made this. But I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you guys liked it. One of the proudest things I like about America First is that everybody's saying like, "Oh, America first. We gotta prioritize our country." But in this case, the lyrics are everybody's gonna go down with a ship, America first. The ship being the world, and America being the bow was kind of my like take at it. My what I was kind of like saying in the lyrics. And I mean that like I mean that sincerely because I've heard a lot of troubling like reports about just I don't know like alt-rights like more like fascistic like parties and governments of like just becoming more and more common, like not just in America but like across the world. Like a lot of developed countries, like I think, you know, the UK has their own conservative party, forget the name, but I like literally traveled to the UK with my family, like I think several like a couple months ago at this point, and I saw, you know, when walking down the streets of, I think, was it I don't know if it was like London or something, but we saw like banners and like a stand with banners and stuff with like from like their conservative party, like people being like, you know, just like that kind of thing. And it's disheartening because it's like I feel like, you know, a wave of a wave like it's like a wave of like hatred and just intolerance and ignorance and bigotry is just seems to be like taking over the world, it seems like. And like this whole album is kind of me trying to figure out why the fuck did Trump win a second time, and why does it seem like he actually fucking won the popular vote this time? Like especially when the opposition was like, sure, a status quo politician who wouldn't have gotten anything much better if not, like, you know, but it's like at least she wasn't going to like, I don't know, deport millions of people and countless other horrible things Trump literally promised he would do. And I knew that's when I realized I needed to understand the median voter. I needed to understand because I realized, hey, Abstract, welcome. Thank you for coming through. We already listened to America First. But I'm guessing, I don't know if you've heard the album already, but if you're just here to support anyway, I know at least Snare Mori has seen the whole album or heard the whole album. But if you're here to support, thank you. I mean, I guess I did send you the link. But yeah, thank you. So the next song in this album is Have a Good Day, which is a single that I actually released a week ago. Yeah, right. And she's black or not white. Ah, right. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie and say that there's most certainly an element of sexism and even racism in Kamala's case, is why she didn't get elected. But I wanted to like listen to a bunch. I wanted to hear more about, like, because I had to imagine that it wasn't just those factors, especially to the average median voter who may not necessarily know or be particularly concerned with the plight of marginalized communities and are just poor as shit trying to figure out the right politician who would listen to them and their issues, and how Trump duped them into that. Again, you can see a lot of my political opinions showing in this very stream, but you know, I'm not gonna censor myself, but I'm also not gonna be like I don't know, like I don't know. I'm not gonna censor myself. Because this album is undeniably about my political opinion, but also my own reckoning, and it's not. I don't want this to be another divisive take. That my point. I guess at the end of the day, I don't want this to be another divisive take. That I don't want this album to be another divisive take that further alienates both sides of the political spectrum. Sure, I'm going to say a lot of. Sure, I'm gonna be very angry in a few of these songs and speak my mind, but at the same time, I also have a bunch of songs that kind of like attempt to, I guess, bridge the gap, find common ground, or even figure out why they are feeling the way they're feeling, and I don't know. Just there are a lot of things that I touch on in this album. But anyway, up next, she also, wait, what is it? She also didn't have as much time to get people interested in the idea of her being president, if that makes sense. No, that makes the complete sense, Nairmori. No, she kind of, like, it was very last minute. We thought Biden was going to run again until he had that horrible moment on the first presidential debate, and then we all know what happens. But anyway, I'm going to play the music video for Have a Good Day instead of just the song, because I have released a music video for Have a Good Day. So I'm going to play that. We're going to switch over here. Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today?
How can I reconcile something so cruel? Can money explain what these people can do? Something so sinister I can't relate. I wish I knew how there could be so much hate. Help me escape the insanity. I'm grasping at straws that are so hard to find. I am beside myself, this can't be real. I genuinely don't know how to feel.
Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the
today. Watching democracy slowly decay, legislate all of my family away. Think of the children while bombing their homes, shooting their schools and policing their own. Knowledge and freedom to think for themselves, learn their identities and mental health. Marry them while they're still young, force them to carry your values and tongue. I'm not proud to be an American, where at least I'll pretend that I'm free from despair. Moving us backward through all the lies, the past and the future are blurring my eyes. Systems in power have history deep, colonized genocide and slavery. We never grew out of it, not by a lot. That is our legacy, like it or not. I don't know how to have faith anymore. I understand why politics are ignored, but it's connected to all of the lore, affecting society down to the core. Money will buy you your power and fame. Everything needed's a riggable game, but it affects everyone all the same. As we descend down the capital drain, no one will listen, they shut all their blinds, close all their borders, their doors and their minds. The temperatures, they will continue to climb like boiling frogs, it's a matter of time. Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today?
And that was Have a Good Day from my album. Yeah. So Have a Good Day. Again, this was a single that I created a week before the album came out. Thank you, Ordian. And thank you for going on Twitch. Appreciate the viewership on Twitch. Thanks, Waste of Blood. I appreciate that. But yeah, where to begin with this one? So this is another one where I kind of wrote the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics to the song, to this song, at least some of the lyrics. Right, Gotcha. Well, anyway, what was I gonna say? What was I saying? So, I kind of wrote and produced, or I guess you could say wrote and composed this song at different times. I actually composed the song, and I say composed very directly because I didn't really properly produce it and mix it until like this year, or like the very end of 2024, after I learned that Trump was going to be our next president again. But yeah, I actually composed this the music, the beat, with all like the measure, like the 4/4 to 3/4 measure, like time signatures and like all that, the melodies and whatnot. I composed that like actually several years ago. I'm gonna still listen, but I gotta drive and it's 1 degree out and icy. Shit, that's horrible. Okay, well, don't let my stream distract you too much from driving. I don't want you to get into an accident. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff I've written years ago. Cool, yeah. In this particular case, In this particular case, it is a instrumental that I adopted for a later song that I ended up releasing this year. And ironically enough, the original topic behind the instrumental that I composed was also political, because like, I wrote it when Biden was president, but I was still like, even then, I was still heavily disheartened by how much bigotry there was in the world. And it just kind of came to a head at one point where I was just like, this sucks. Why do people hate each other? Like, why is there so much hatred and so much intolerance towards people who just like are marginalized? Like, why? Where is it coming from? That was back when I still didn't really understand. I understand more about why bigotry exists. It exists to serve the wealthy, full stop. And the poor, and some poor people are dumb enough to fall for it. That's 100% why bigotry is as popular as it is anyway. Okay, looks like I was just checking Discord because somebody responded to my message. It looks like one of my friends can't make it. They're busy, but that's all good. I'm just gonna reply to them real quick. So, yeah. The lyrics, I wrote kind of new lyrics for this one. I kept a lot of the lyrics the same, but changed a few too. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, I basically just like revisited this song and kind of updated it for this a particular occasion. I knew I had to after Orange Man got reelected. So yeah, that's the origin behind Have a Good Day. I'm still really happy with it. I think it's definitely the most complicated instrumental wise. I'm sorry, I have to go to the bathroom right now. We'll play this song one more time for the one more time, and I'll be right back. Apologies for this, but I really got to go to the bathroom. Then it'll only be like a couple minutes. Then we'll continue on with the album. Thanks again so much for coming through. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And in the meantime, enjoy this music video again.
Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? How can I reconcile something so cruel? Can money explain what these people can do? Something so sinister I can't relate. I wish I knew how there could be so much hate. Help me escape the insanity. I'm grasping at straws that are so hard to find. I am beside myself, this can't be real. I genuinely don't know how to feel. Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Can the world have a good day? Can the world have a good day today? Watching democracy slowly decay. Legislate all of my family away. Think of the children while bombing their homes, shooting their schools and policing their own. Knowledge and freedom to think for themselves. Learn their identities
I'm back.
and mental health. Bury them.
All right. Let's get on with the show. Let's get on with the show. So, next song on the list was produced by Snare Mori, and I did the vocals. This is Death Rattle.
Hey, Snare Mori, let's fucking do this.
Fuck the system taking us into oblivion. The stickiness of all the runnings on our hands. It makes me sick of living in this maze of shit we call society. Don't think for a second that we're living quietly. We won't stop till our demands are met entirely. Fuck your money, fuck your golden personality. Fight populist, preying on the poor and the hungry. Horrifying hatred, violence, and brutality. Tearing families apart, killing children in the streets. You corporate billionaires and political elites have been getting away with this for far too fucking long. Now face the mess you made. You can't distract the working class forever, assholes.
All right, that was Death Rattle. Yeah, no, I killed my voice that day. It's not advisable. Don't try that at home. For those of you who don't know, there is actually a proper way you can metal scream or do screamo. Like, there is a healthy way you can do that. I more or less know how to do it the healthy way, but it still kind of comes out in like a pitiful, like almost Velociraptor style sound. It involves like vocal fry and like just like amplified vocal fry, basically. I watched like a voice tutorial on how to do it. But it's still very pitiful. I can do it sometimes. That's relatable. I've also used Mari Orc before. For those of you completely unaware, that is a alter ego voice synthesizer. One of the few voice synthesizers I know that can like scream. But let me see if I can scream. Let me see if I can like do the proper scream. It's not going to be very loud because I haven't quite mastered it yet. No. It still sounds like a dying animal or something. Okay, great. That's awesome, Abstract. Great. Cool. I'm glad you're okay. All right. But yeah, no. Obviously I'm angry as shit in that one. That one's about that one's a bit more just like, I guess, like I think it's gonna be dope as fuck to like write lyric videos, to do lyric videos about this, because I'm realizing some of the lyrics are not particularly clear, especially when I'm screaming them. But in this song, I was more or less calling out I'm keeping most of my anger directed, again, I'm keeping most of my anger in my album directed at the people who are manipulating the population and forcing them to vote against their own, well, not forcing them. I don't want to completely absolve the median voter of responsibility. They still voted for who they voted for. And like, I disagree with that, and I don't think that's cool, and they have to take responsibility for that. But at the same time, I'm placing most of the blame on the higher ups who manipulated the population into believing that they're voting in their own best interest when actually they're not. Nobody is gonna benefit from Trump. Except maybe Elon Musk. Maybe Elon Musk. But yeah, no, this is Death Rattle. Gotta sleep. All right, well, thank you for coming, Waste of Blood. Appreciate it. It's late in Nazi land right now. I'm gonna listen to the rest tomorrow, but so far, very intriguing. Anyway, I mean, what land isn't Nazi land these days, right? But anyway, that's the problem. Anyway, up next is I Guess I Should Have Known That He'd Be Back. And these songs actually kind of fade into each other. If you notice, I didn't fully stop Death Rattle. I'm gonna play a little bit back and listen to it play into the next one. I Guess I Should Have Known That He'd Be Back. Let's get started. It's buffering. That's a bit lame. Come on. Why are you buffering on me? Stop it. Stop it. Why are you doing this? Come on. All right, let's try that again. So this is the end of Death Rattle, and there we go.
I'll never forget the feeling I felt when I knew for 4 years we'll be living in hell. I was in a bar, watching the screens, when the president-elect declared victory. My mind was racing, my body pacing, worried for my friends and family. My country doesn't feel like home to me. I feel like I'm in the camp of the enemy. I guess I should have known that he'd be back. He is just a symptom of the capitalist hell we enemy. Because you wanted to believe he was different from the rest, cause you resonated with his energy. And when times get tough, will he ever come through for you? And if it's not enough, what are you gonna do? I guess I should have known that he'd be back. He is just a symptom of the capitalist hell we live in. You'll thrive so long as we are under attack. Fanning all the flames stoked by oppression and exploitation.
And that was, I guess I should have known that he'd be back. Thank you, Abstract. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So this is more of an introspection, more of like a, I guess it's still like a, like I'm still, I don't know what to call this one. I wrote this one. I didn't actually make this. This is actually the last song I made in the album because I wanted to make it longer. That's like legitimately the origin story behind this song, and it is arguably one of the most epic songs I've produced on this album. So, did I use Delay Llama? I don't know what that is, so no. All right. See Abstract. But, yeah, I made the backing vocal was with Solaria from Synth V. And, the reverb was done with just default FL Studio's Fruity Reverb. And a few other plugins that I don't remember. I think I add a delay effect as well. To certain channels. But yeah, no, I kind of wrote this song to, like, I guess revisit that feeling I felt when I knew for 4 years we'd be living in hell. Back when I learned, I realized that Trump was going to be Trump was going to be reelected. Kind of revisiting exactly what I was doing. What I was doing, strangely enough, I was at a bar, but I wasn't there to drink. I didn't actually have a drop of alcohol at the bar. I was there because a friend of my mom's, actually, like our local mayor, who my mom and I know, who's really cool, politically left-leaning, wanted to completely transform our city. For those of you who don't know, I live in Sacramento, California, and our mayor, Flo Kofer, the mayor candidate, Flo Kofer, who that's who she is. She was hosting like a party at a local a bar at around the same time while we were counting the poll. During the poll, she lost, unfortunately. That was an unintentional slip of the tongue. She is unfortunately not our mayor. No, but and she would have done incredible things for the health of homeless population we have in Sacramento. We have a homeless problem in Sacramento, and a lot of the solutions to homelessness are very, very Number one, they don't solve the issue. Number two, they just hurt homeless people. Homeless people need housing. That's what they need. But they, like, our city's just been terrible with the homeless, and she would have done really well. She had a lot of good ideas, good plans. And I was at the bar with her, with my mom, with my family, and other people supporting her. To, just cheer her on. She was kind of hosting like a dance party kind of thing at the bar, so that was kind of cool. And it also just so happened that I was being surrounded by screens. All of them were displaying, like, the fucking, like, presidential race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And, of course, we all know what happened. Trump won. And I was surrounded by screens, all of them saying the same thing. Like, oh, Trump is our next president of the United States. Trump just won this state. Trump just won that state. And it was just like, ugh. I wasn't doing a lot of celebrating that night, unfortunately. I don't drink, so I didn't drink. But I was tempted to that night. And yeah, that's the origin behind the lyrics of that song. And of course, the feeling I wanted to capture in the song was that feeling I felt. Anyway, up next is a bit more of a lighthearted song called President Meteor. And let's get on into this one.
Hey, I'm voting for President Meteor. I just think, that he'll change things up a bit. He's just so out of this world, man. And whether you voted for him or not, he will affect us all. Yeah, President Meteor 2024, bro. It's so awesome because, he'll see to it that the economy never crashes ever again. You can forget all about the price of eggs, bro. Because, well, President Meteor's got a plan that'll see to it that you'll never ever go hungry again. But probably my favorite thing about President Meteor is that he doesn't discriminate based on identity or any of that. He doesn't care about any of that. He'll affect you no matter what.
All right, that was President Meteor. Obviously this one's a bit more lighthearted and kind of nihilistic as well, but it's in a very tongue-in-cheek type of way where a lot of my other songs are a lot more serious. Like literally the last song, hey, welcome back, Abstract. But yeah, President Meteor is definitely a lot more, I guess, yeah, tongue-in-cheek, just goofy. And it kind of harkens back to that feeling where it's like, the very common refrain, like, oh, God, I wish there's like literally, I think there's like I've seen like a meme where it says like giant, this was back when, this was back during like, I think the last election, the last major election, I should say, the last election where Trump was involved, or I don't remember which election it was, but I saw a meme that said like giant meteor 2016 just ended already with the slogan, with that being the slogan. And it's just like, that kind of stuck with me where it's like, okay, my inner nihilist wants to make something with that. Obviously I'm not a total nihilist, but I have my moments where I feel hopeless. but I never let that turn into like doomerism or like shit like that. I try to be. I know there are things I can do, even if they're small, to improve the political climate, which is why I made this album. But President Meteor is kind of it's also kind of a playful jab at like I don't know, your Trump supporting uncle or family member, because it has lyrics in it where it's like, oh, you don't need to worry about the price of eggs. Everybody was so worried about the price of eggs because they thought Trump was going to make them cheaper. Because President Meteor is going to make it so you'll never go hungry again. You'll never be hungry again because you'll be fucking dead. That kind of thing. So it's kind of like that. And again, I know that there's a very high likelihood that people who I'm friends with will come onto this stream and like who have also like I think they've either voted or are otherwise on the conservative side of the spectrum, and I just want to say that like, you know, I have my own opinion, and I'm not here to like drive a wedge between us or anything. I legitimately don't think that's helpful. I would prefer to have a conversation like adults about this topic at some point, obviously not now, but like at some point in the future, just so we could share our different perspectives. Again, this album is not necessarily, I didn't make this album in hopes of like sticking it to anybody. I'm just saying my thoughts and letting my thoughts pour out. I'm not, you know, I'm not doing anything like that. Because at the end of the day, I recognize it's not helpful, and it really only serves to further divide us and make sure that nobody's listening to each other. But anyway, that was President Meteor. Up next is Flightless Bird, the flagship song named after the album itself. Let's get on into this one. This one is definitely my most introspective and where I bring up most of my points. It has a lot of cool verses that I think I like. It's the most simplistic instrumental-wise, but I still kind of like it. It's like it's got a really cool bass line. But mostly you're there for the lyrics. It's a cool vibe though, nonetheless. Let's go.
I'm tired of the back and forth I see online. I'm not playing any games anymore. I've drawn the line. The only way I'm being heard is in good faith. To help my family, my mindset must be rearranged. just can't deny it anymore. It's rotten to the core. I've been distracted long enough. I'll stop catering to the absurd. We are a flightless bird.
So that was Flightless Bird. I guess I should also mention the origin behind the name of the album, Flightless Bird, as well as the name of the song, and what the lyric and what I mean by that in the lyrics. I think it's pretty self-explanatory when you look at the cover art, but basically the cover art, you know, you can see here, if my amazing art style does it justice, that is like a bald eagle with a right wing and a left wing bursting through an American flag. And that's kind of like my way of saying that both the Republicans and the Democrats are shitty as fuck. And also both both sides of the political spectrum just are talking past one another in general. And like, I guess this is kind of like my visual representation of it all. That we're a flightless bird. I like, you know, we're the, you know, our national symbol, our national animal is the bald eagle. And, you know, I'm using the right wing and left wing very literally in this point. Like, the wings are broken, the bird is dead, it's bursting through the American flag, desecrating the American flag. It's very symbolic in its own goofy way with my art style. Yeah, that's kind of the origin behind the name. And of course, my lyrics, I went into a lot of detail about how I feel about the whole thing. It's hard to dissect all of the lyrics at once, but it's, you know, the general theme behind it is I'm done playing tit for tat on Twitter or X, whatever you want to fucking call it anymore. Like, I'm done engaging in, like, blood sport, flame wars between, like alt-right people who weren't gonna listen, who never intended to listen to me to begin with. And I'm only gonna dedicate my political time to productive, good faith conversations with people I believe, with people who I know I have the chance of reaching a common ground with, to see if we can build a rapport, a connection with. That's kind of the message behind Flightless Bird. Trying to forget all the labels and all of the bullshit baggage that comes with even bringing up the word politics to somebody. Because it's become such a taboo subject. Like, it's such an intimidating subject to talk about, too, because it's like, you know, the whole thing, like, don't bring up politics at the dinner table. Like, that's there for a reason, because, like, not all of your family members will agree with you politically. And a lot of people's responses to that is to just, let's not share anything political, ever. But I don't think that's the solution either, because obviously the way we live our lives is dictated by all this corrupt political bullshit we deal with every day. So we have to talk about it, even if it's uncomfortable and we know it's corrupt. Like, it's still, whether we like it or not, dictates our lives. Some of us more than others. But still. Yeah, that was Flightless Bird. Up next is The First Domino. Let's get on into this one.
When the first domino falls, when the first shoe drops, when the curtain closes and I hear the call of the raging mob, for the first time they're all calling the same shot. When the first domino falls, when the first shoe drops, when the curtain closes and I hear the call of the raging mob, for the first time they're all calling the same shot. anything from this lesson at all? Or will we descend back down the culture war path? Let the propaganda machine churn the riffraff, poisoning the well of unity we once had to stop us from fighting what's killing us all.
All right, that was the first domino. So, this song. I wrote this song right after I learned about the, shall we say, unaliving of, the, healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, at the hands of, Luigi Mangione. I'm not gonna talk about the any of that. I'm only gonna preface that by saying that was the inspiration for this song. I don't want to talk about the assassination attempt, the assassination succeed. I don't want to talk about the assassination or any opinions about that. I want to hold off on that. For many reasons, including related to this stream. Not going to talk about that. One thing I will talk about in very broad terms is the way I saw people on both sides of the political spectrum react to it. Like, I've seen fucking conservative pundits like Ben Sharpie or Matt Welt, as I like to call them, touched on the issue, and trying to rally up sympathy from their bases, from the alt-right, and it was just very interesting to see that the alt-right were not having it, just like people on the left. It was very interesting to see, because it seemed to me like we were finally reaching common ground. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about whether it's more, like, I don't want to talk about whether what happened was, like, morally good or not, but that's not the point of this at all. I'm not here to talk about that, and I don't want to talk about that. I'm here to talk about, yeah, exactly, Snare Mori. Exactly. It was one of the few instances where the veil was lifted, where we really finally saw what was going on, where a lot of people really finally saw what was going on here. It's not left versus right, and it never really has been. It's always been the rich oppressing the poor, and the rich fucking literally using bigotry as a way to divide the poor, so to make them weaker. That has always been what bigotry's biggest, like, bigotry's always been a tool for that. Like, even back in the days of, like, slavery, when the American continent was first being colonized, fucking, I think, like, you know, like, like, people in the Appalachian Mountains, black and white alike. I'm not the biggest expert on history, but I heard about this through the grapevine, that like the rich, the rich worked really hard to try to divide the black population, the African population from like, I guess the Irish and European population, saying like, oh, well, you're better than the black people. You're like us. And creating like a wedge, a way to make the poor people, the poor white people, feel better about themselves in some way, even though they're being fucked over by the wealthy. It feels better to have someone beneath you, because it gives you somebody to take your anger out on, because you know you can't take your anger out on your oppressor. And it was really one of the first times I really came to realize that, and saw it in the comment sections of like videos, and it's just like fascinating. And like, I think this realization could potentially be the catalyst to realizing like that, like all this fear mongering about minorities, especially queer and LGBTQ and trans people, like how all of that bullshit is just a distraction. That's all it is. It's a fucking distraction. Sure, the bigotry is there, and a lot of people legitimately don't like those groups of people, but they're being amplified and used to distract from all of the important issues, the real threats to this country and to us as poor people, or I guess people who are not as, I guess, I don't want to say I'm poor. I'm not that poor, but I'm definitely not a 1%er. I'm on like average or I'm middle class or something, but like, you know what I mean. People of fairly modest means, versus like the elite, the billionaires. And just like, I think it has the potential to unify a lot of people if we realize that we're all being fucked by the wealthy, each and every one of us, and the wealthy in large part is using bigotry to distract us and divide us. And that's what the first domino's about. It's not about the assassination, or it's not like celebrating the assassination or even talking about the assassination in any capacity. It's talking about the positive, the positive interpretation of how people on the right and the left respond in the same way for once about an issue. The only other time they did that was like about the fucking the fucking movie that was I'll just say the name. I'll just say the name of the movie. I'll just spell out the name of the movie. CUTIES. I don't recommend looking it up, but that was another time where everybody was both sides of the political spectrum were like in agreement. It's very rare these days that you see both sides of the political spectrum agreeing on anything. So, and this one was particularly resonant because it talks about how, everybody's poor, right? It really like the left and the right are both, a lot of people on the left and a lot of people on the right are both poor, and that's like something they have in common. And so that can reach common ground with just that by itself. Anyway, that's enough of me yammering. Let's get on to the next song on the album. At the end of the day, this is still about the album. Sure, the album is political as shit, but let's focus a little bit more. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the album now. Up next, we got 3 songs left. Up next is Kind-Hearted People.
today have only existed for a tiny portion of that time, and when time goes on, most will be forgotten, just like the ones who came before them. Remember the ones who cared about a time that supersedes them, for they thought of you before you existed. They had the foresight to think ahead, and the wisdom and resolve to fight for a better tomorrow.
All right, that was Kind-Hearted People. So, this one, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but the chorus for this song, is actually a reused refrain from an earlier song, America First, actually the first song. If you go back and listen, you'll see that the chorus is the same. Of course, it's done up in like a more of a hyper pop style vibe in this version. It's a bit more. This one's a bit more like danceable and groovy. This song is basically just touching around both ignorance and trying to get people to like realize that there's like a lot of serious issues going on. I kind of did that in the style of like a hyperpop, or just, I don't know, like more of a easily digestible, fun, bouncy song. While also talking about like serious subjects and almost kind of directly calling out the type of people who may choose to listen to this. Not always. I know a lot of people who listen to hyperpop and pop are left-leaning and are fairly, like, have a lot of political opinions, but not all of them. And I feel like, in general, people who listen to this kind of music may not be prepared for that subject being broached, and I kind of took advantage of that in some way with this song. And, other than that, I also had a moment in the song where it kind of like flipped and like got a switch up. I'm sure you noticed. It was when I was screaming. In that switch up, I was kind of like, first of all, you could hear me speaking in reverse, but then I start speaking not in reverse. And I was basically just saying like the gist of what I was saying in that part was talking about the types of people who, well, I guess in a sense, think of you before you ever existed. What do I mean by that? I mean that in the sense that it's like, well, like they plan ahead and they try to work toward a better tomorrow, a tomorrow that not just their children can enjoy, but their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren and several generations ahead of them can enjoy. And I feel like a lot of that is missing, especially in today's fucked up society. I feel like a lot of people just a lot of wealthy corporations and billionaires just want to see the world burn for an extra dough, extra money in their pocket. And that's kind of calling that out too. Like, I feel like there's not enough care being care for the people who are going to inherit this earth after they die. Next in line, if you will, the next generations. Like, I already know I'm going to be living through the most insane shit that will ever happen in my lifetime. God knows what's going to happen. Like, I don't know what the world's going to be like when I'm like your age, Abstract. Like, shit. I don't know. Shit could completely hit the fan. I don't know. It's an illusion that the status quo will remain the status quo forever. Either things are going to get I think things are just going to things are going to change significantly. AI has already changed the landscape so much. And it was like it barely existed like what was it? Like a couple years ago? Now it's fucking everywhere and it's like infringing on art. It's so crazy, dude. Like, there are just so many things that are not guaranteed in this life. And least of all, our planet and our climate changing. And just, like, also, like, a good country to live in and safe places for people in the future. Like, just in all meanings of the word. It's all up in the air. And I'm going to live a lot longer. I'm going to live to see. I'm hopefully, unless something horrible unless something happens to me, I'm probably going to live. I'm probably going to live to at least 85. So I'm going to be like living through the real 2077. If you guys know Cyberpunk 2077, I hope we don't get the future of Cyberpunk 2077. Although that would be aesthetically cool as shit, it would be horrible to live through. I don't want to live into a cyberpunk dystopia. You could argue that maybe we're already in a cyberpunk dystopia, to which I say, yeah, fair enough, we probably are. But still, like, I don't want things to get worse. And I get the unfortunate pleasure to find out whether that's true or not. A lot of the younger generations do. And that's kind of also what this is about. And I guess it's kind of fitting that it's hyperpop in that respect, too. But anyway, up next, we've got Change. This is the second to last song in the album.
They are drawn near it. Why everyone is flocking to fire, bursting with rage. What they desire above all else is change. Change. Change.
time and energy to talk to people across the aisle in productive, good faith conversations, you might just see each other's humanity. All right, that was Change, the second to last song in the Flightless Bird album. So, I mean, I've touched on this subject before, but this really tackles the topic head on. Change is about reaching across the aisle and having good faith conversations with people you think will be receptive to those good faith conversations, and figuring out the best way to initiate those good faith conversations, get people to listen to you, so that you can maybe, you know, reach common ground. What was I gonna say? Apart from that, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, the reason why I decided to make call this song Change is it has to do with a particular, like, video clip I saw circulating around from interviewers asking, why, you know, I think it was something along the lines of, like, why did you vote for Donald Trump, and or why do you think other people voted for Donald Trump, type of thing. And somebody on the street responded. I specifically remember somebody on the street in this video responding, saying like people just want change. They don't necessarily know what kind of change they want. They just want change, something different from the status quo. Because all they know is the status quo is not fucking working for them. And that kind of got me to realize, that also kind of got me more to realize that, okay, you know, a lot of these people who voted for Trump, sure, they're misguided and they made the wrong decision, but they're not motivated by hatred. They don't hate minorities. Not all of them, anyway. At least they don't think they hate minorities. They might have some, like, you know, ignorant beliefs or views about them, but they're not, like, actively trying they don't actively think about or fantasize about them all being dead, or, you know, they're not Nazis, right? They're just people who don't know any other way. They think Trump in some kind of they think Trump somehow is going to make America great. And they think he's going to deliver the change they want to see. They think they're going to actually notice an improvement in their style, their standard of living. And that's kind of been a slow realization for me, because for a while I didn't want to do any reflection, or any exploration. I was just content to say Trump supporters are evil and they all hate me and they all hate minorities, and leave it at that. But I've since then, you know, since speaking to a lot of Trump supporters, a lot of musician friends of mine who lean Republican or otherwise, I think, voted for Trump, and how otherwise, like, cool people to hang out with they are. They're really great people. They're not like, you know, they don't say a bunch of ignorant shit online. They're just cool, down to earth people. And they probably don't think a lot about politics. They're just like, oh, but at the same time, I was like, I just still legitimately did not understand the appeal of Trump. And I was kind of trying to figure out why it appealed to people. And again, I touched on this already. I've touched on this a million times, but that's basically what Change is about. Is that. Anyway, my very last song on the Flightless Bird album. How are you guys feeling? Can I get a chat update? I've been yammering and showing off songs for a while, but I just want to see how's everybody doing. How's everybody liking the songs so far? I can see 4 people still in the chat, both whether they're all on YouTube or Twitch. I just see 4 people on my restream. How are you guys doing? I know, Abstract, I think you're still driving or something. Just checking in real quick before we finish off with the last song on the album. Thank you, Snare Mori. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I've done a lot of... This is definitely an album where I've done a lot of self-reflection and insightful, thinking. Like, I've done a lot of self-reflection on this. I've been a lot more self-aware in general. In fact, that's a New Year's resolution of mine. I intended to be a lot more self-aware, just a lot more, I don't know, a lot more, I guess, just patient and self-aware, because I realized more and more, like, being angry rarely gets you what you want, or even comes close to getting you what you want. And I kind of have the privilege, I mentioned this in the song Change, actually, but I have the privilege to like be kind of like more or less 100% removed from a lot of the marginalized targets that the alt-right wants to make their lives worse, and have outright said that they hate. I'm not on that. I mean, I guess I'm an atheist and neurodivergent, but that's basically it. I'm not, yeah. Anyway. But like, my point is, you know, I'm also white and stuff like that. I have a lot of privilege, and I also have a privilege of, like, patience, I guess, since I don't see my group of people being targeted in media. I feel like I have a lot of mental patience, and also like I feel safer I feel more safe to voice my opinion as well, which I guess is part of the privilege. I have a lot more, I feel like I don't feel like I'm at risk just by existing online and talking about leftist shit. And at the same time, I feel like I can better reach across the aisle at people who, you know, don't share my political views. And again, I'm going to use that privilege. I'm going to use the fact that I have enough patience to engage in good faith conversations with just about anyone who's willing. Be my strength. I'm gonna let that help me. I'm gonna let that help. I don't know, people I care about, the less fortunate people in my life. That's kind of my approach to this. And the song Change is also kind of encouraging other people to do the same. Other people like me who have the patience, have the privilege, to do the same thing with the people they know in their life, that who they suspect or probably believe that are conservative or, you know, right-leaning. People who have a lot of potentially ignorant positions on certain groups of people and whatnot. Not trying to lump everyone in together, of course. That's the opposite of what I'm trying to do with this album. But yeah, that's Change for you in a nutshell. Up next, this is the very last song on the album, Have You Met My Friend? Let's go.
Have you met my friend? Their pronouns are they and them. Oh, have you met my friend? Their skin is a darker complexion. Oh, have you met my friend? They're a child of two immigrants. Oh, have you met my friend? They're in a different condition. culture might be a little bit different. Have you met my friend? Their love is one that knows no limits. Have you met my friend? Well, have you? Cause they're not who you claim to hate. They're a human with all kinds of traits that differ from yours, but hey, that's no reason to discriminate. My friends wanting right doesn't mean in any way that yours will be erased. They just want to be safe with the dignity you simply take for granted. Have you met my friend? Their pronouns are they and them. Oh, have you met my friend? Their skin is a darker complexion. Oh, have you met my friend? They're a child of two immigrants. Oh, have you met my friend? They're in a different condition. Oh, have you met my friend? They don't conform to your religion. Oh, have you met my friend? Their culture might be a little bit different. Have you met my friend? Their love is one that knows no limits. Have you met my friend? Oh, have you? Oh, have you met my friend?
All right. That was Have You Met My Friend? So this song, it's definitely obvious. It's definitely the least angry, least like adversarial song on my whole album, and it's also my mom's favorite, probably for that reason. But but also Have You Met My Friend? It's very disarming, which is part of the reason why it's not very aggressive or angry in any way. It's very disarming. It's asking a simple question, have you met my friend? And it's because a lot of people who would otherwise hold bigoted opinions about certain groups of people just have literally never met that group, have literally never met a person who belonging to that oppressed class. Like, it's crazy how like almost without fail, people who are bigoted against a certain group of people have never met anybody from that group of people. And it's no coincidence either, because studies have shown that exposure to even one friend or one person like who's different from you will make you more sympathetic to all those people who share the same differences. Like, I think that's like, I'm pretty sure that's a proven study. And this also touches on my own, I guess, experience in dealing with, or just my own history, I guess. Like, because like before I even became a musician, like I said before, an overwhelming majority of my friends were some variety of LGBTQ. A lot of my family members are also LGBTQ. I'm very, very involved in that community. And as someone who's been like heavily immersed in that community, I know so much about it, and it's thoroughly, they like all the stereotypes and misinformation out there around LGBTQ people in general just like does not affect me, at least not nearly as much as it would like someone who's never even had a gay friend or anything. You know what I mean? Like, exposure really helps. It humanizes an otherwise nameless group of people in your mind. Suddenly you have a name attached to a person, or like suddenly you have a name and a face attached to like an otherwise nameless group of people in your mind. like the transgenders or the you know, whatever you want to say. Like, I know so many trans people. I know so many gay people. I know so many members of the LGBTQ community. Bi people, asexual people. Like, it's crazy. Like, I know people who are in, you know, polyamorous relationships. People, like, things that not your average person, like people not your average person knows. Like, so much so that I experienced, like, culture shock when I moved out of that, like, I guess, little bubble of friends and family. For context, I was also never schooled. I was homeschooled all my life, so I never went to school. I never really was exposed to, like, I guess you could say, like, the broader culture of, like, other people. And so it was kind of a culture. It was kind of like an adjustment when I started making a lot of friends in the music spaces. As a musician, I adjusted to it, and I think I've grown wiser as a result. I think it's really cool how that changed me. I'm happy. I'm very happy with it, and I know there's always room for me to learn and improve. And that's this song, "Have You Met My Friend," is kind of about that, learning and improving and meeting people, just meeting people. Like, it's just it's such an innocent question. Have you met my friend? Because you know, you might like them. You know, I know you have a lot of preconceived notions about those people, but, like, have you ever met them? Then, you know, you might want to meet them. Anyway, that's it for the album. Once again, guys, thank you so much for coming through. This has been so awesome. I'm so glad that you guys stuck around for as long as you did. Each and every one of you. Thank you, Lepus Music. Thank you, Abstract. Thank you, Snare Mori. Thank you, Ordian Azurium. Thank you, Waste of Blood. If there's anyone else I'm missing, I apologize. Thank you guys so much for coming through and listening to this album. Listening to this album of mine with me. I'm going to end things off with a song of mine. Not a song of mine. I'm going to be ending this off with my mom's single, "One Candle." Because if you guys don't know, my mom, Tiffany Clark, released her first ever single. And it is called "One Candle." It's also, you know, like mother, like son, also about the 2024 election, after, like, her reaction to Trump winning. Well, she wrote the song actually in 2016 in reaction to Trump winning the first time, and she decided to release it on Inauguration Day, the second time Trump got reelected, which is today. And I'm just going to play this one out for the finisher while we end things off. I'm just going to end it off with "One Candle." Hopefully you guys stick around to listen to it. It's a really beautiful track. And consider following Tiffany Clark on Spotify and YouTube. She's Tiffany TLC Music on YouTube. She still has to link her like discography to her YouTube channel, but it'll be there in due time. Anyway, I'm going to end things off with "One Candle." Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time with Robot Jukebox. Peace.
When you've one short candle in your hands and its flame is slim and it's flickering, when the clouds are thick and the moon is thin, your sight is dim. Come to me, oh, come to me, let us stand as one. Lift our candles up together now, brighter than the sun. join as we go, step by step, however slow. So come to me, oh, come to me, let us stand as one. Lift our candles up together now, brighter than the sun. To navigate, we'll collaborate, not engage in hate, commit to share one fate. Going peacefully with empathy, integrity, inclusivity. So come to me, oh, come to me, let us stand as one. Lift our candles up together now, brighter than the sun. Well, let science guide, set the unprovable aside, keep open mind, see what we find. We'll look inside, see where bias hides, expose it to light, invite it to take flight. So come to me, oh, come to me, let us stand as one. Lift our candles up together now, brighter than the sun. It may take time, now and then we'll fall, but someday we'll reach our goals. Safety, equality, opportunity for all humanity. So come to me, oh, come to me, let us stand as one. Lift our candles up